Welcome to AI World TV, your go-to destination for everything artificial intelligence. Discover the captivating landscape of AI, where advanced technology finds real-life application. Subscribe to AI World TV for webzine articles, reports, podcasts, videos, live events, and latest trends. Hear from top industry leaders and discover how AI is transforming industries and our daily lives.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we try to make sense of the complex stories shaping our world, giving you the insights you need. And today, well, we're tackling maybe the biggest conversation out there right now, artificial intelligence and where it's headed.
Yeah, it's hard to ignore. I mean, for the past few years, it feels like we've seen a genuine revolution. ChatGPT, Gemini, these aren't just lab experiments anymore.
Not at all. They're writing emails for major corporations. They're being used to help predict market swings, even curating the news you read every day. They are, let's face it, incredibly impressive.
Undeniably brilliant in many ways. The pace has been, well, astonishing.
It really has. But, amidst all the excitement, the hype, our sources keep highlighting this pretty uncomfortable question that some top people in tech are asking.
Which is
the AI we have today actually intelligent? Or is it just, an incredibly sophisticated mimic?
Ah, yes. And that distinction, that's really the core of what we want to unpack in this deep dive. There's a growing feeling among researchers that AI is standing at a critical crossroads.
Crossroads how?
Well, the worry is if we just keep doing what we've been doing, basically throwing more computing power at the existing designs, the large language models, the LLMs.
Scaling up.
Exactly, just scaling up. We risked creating something one report described as brilliance without wisdom.
Brilliance without wisdom. That sounds problematic, like building this amazing, powerful engine, but maybe forgetting the steering wheel or the brakes, or even a map.
That's a good way to put it. The mission, as you said, is to understand why there's this call for a radical retooling, a real pivot away from just raw processing power towards insight, purpose, maybe even wisdom.
So not just tweaking the engine, but fundamentally rethinking the vehicle itself.
Precisely. It's about reimagining AI to be smarter in a deeper sense, wiser, and critically more aligned with what we actually want it to do, with human values. We need to move beyond thinking bigger automatically means better.
Okay, let's dive into that core issue then. Mimicry versus meaning. I mean, if an AI can write a flawless email, or maybe even draft a pretty convincing legal argument, why does it matter if it's just imitating? Isn't the end result what counts?
That's the crux of it, isn't it? And it really goes back to how these things are built. Modern AI, deep learning, it is an engineering marvel, no question.
Right.
But its power comes almost entirely from recognizing patterns. It's not thinking in the way we mean thinking. It's calculating probabilities, what's the most likely next word, or the next pixel, or line of code.
So it's a genius at mimicry, as we said. It can produce text that sounds incredibly human, really fluent conversations.
It can. It absolutely can. But often that beautiful output, it's brittle. It's disconnected from any real understanding.
How so?
Well, try pushing it on its assumptions, or ask it to grasp the deeper context of a really tricky social issue. The facade starts to wobble. It doesn't really listen in a deep way. It can't truly weigh the moral implications of a decision.
So it could write a beautiful paragraph about, say, fairness, but it can't explain why fairness matters to people or understand the real-world impact of an unfair outcome.
Exactly right. It mimics the form of intelligence, but it doesn't possess the substance underneath. And look, this isn't just philosophy, right? This is why we see these systems sometimes produce outputs that are confidently, spectacularly wrong.
The hallucinations people talk about.
Yes, or why they can absorb and amplify biases from their training data. This isn't just a minor bug, it's pointing to a fundamental limitation. And that realization is what's driving this push for retooling. It's not just about optimizing, it's about changing the architecture.
That makes a lot of sense. Because if the foundation is flawed, just building a bigger house on top doesn't fix the foundation. It might even make the problems bigger.
Precisely. Which leads us nicely into the next point. The limits of just scaling things up. For years, the mantra in AI has basically been, bigger is better. More data, more computing power, more parameters in the model.
And that worked for a while, didn't it?
It did. It drove incredible progress. But that approach, that scaling paradigm, it's now running up against some very real, very hard limits. Our sources point to about 4 key limitations that show scaling alone isn't the answer anymore.
Okay, let's break those down. The first one sounds incredibly practical and, frankly, a bit scary. Resource inefficiency. the cost.
Both financial and environmental, yeah. It's truly staggering. We're talking millions upon millions of dollars just for the computing power to train one of these top-tier models.
And the energy.
The energy consumption is astronomical. There was one metric that really stood out. Training a single, large, state-of-the-art AI model can have a carbon footprint equivalent to about 5 cars?
Wait, 5 cars?
Over their entire lifetimes.
Wow. Okay, that's not just a small side effect.
Right.
That's a fundamental constraint on how we can develop this technology sustainably. Every time you use one of these services, you're essentially firing up a ghost fleet of cars.
It's a stark reality check, and it forces a reevaluation. Plus, the sheer cost means only a few giant companies or well-funded labs can really afford to build these things, which isn't great for competition or diversity.
Right. And even if you did have unlimited money and energy, you hit the second wall. Data saturation. You can't just keep feeding the machine more and more internet data and expect it to get smarter indefinitely.
Exactly. Think of it like a buffet. The models have been gorging on the open internet, but the supply of high-quality, relatively unbiased data is finite. It's starting to run out.
We're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
In a way, yes. We're getting close to the point where almost all reasonably accessible human-generated text, code, images, it's already been used for training, just hoovering up more stuff. Often the lower quality repetitive noise online doesn't lead to better intelligence. You just get diminishing returns, maybe even regurgitation.
So you end up training the AI on the internet's echo chamber, basically, which connects to the third limit, the one we touched on earlier, shallow understanding.
Yes. Despite how well they can manipulate language, these models still lack those core human cognitive abilities. They don't do abstract reasoning well. They don't have genuine emotional intelligence. Their memory is often limited and stateless between conversations.
They're predicting words, not understanding meanings.
Beautifully put. They are incredibly sophisticated statistical machines, brilliant at finding correlations in data. But correlation isn't causation, and it certainly isn't deep understanding. Their confidence often masks a lack of true comprehension.
And if they're built on correlating existing data, warts and all, that inevitably leads to the fourth limitation, fragility and bias. They reflect us, but maybe not our best selves.
Precisely. AI models are mirrors reflecting the data they're trained on. If that data contains societal biases, sexism, racism, misinformation, whatever the AI will learn those patterns.
And amplify them.
Amplify them and present them with this veneer of computational authority. So you get outputs that are not just wrong, but confidently, persuasively wrong, and potentially harmful. We have to accept that simply making these models bigger can actually make these problems of bias and fragility worse.
Okay, that paints a really clear picture. We have this incredibly powerful tool, but it's hitting fundamental limits related to resources, data, understanding, and bias. Scaling up isn't the path forward, so retooling becomes essential.
Right, and this retooling isn't just about minor adjustments. The sources describe it as a fundamental rebalancing, shifting the focus from just maximizing data size and model parameters towards maximizing things like purpose, precision, and principle.
So moving from more is more to smarter is better.
Essentially, yes. And that requires changes on 2 main fronts: technical innovation and, perhaps more importantly, a philosophical shift.
Let's tackle the technical side first. What new directions are researchers exploring? One term that keeps popping up is hybrid intelligence. What does that mean in practice?
It means moving beyond relying only on neural networks, the deep learning models that are great at pattern matching, like recognizing a cat in a photo almost instantly.
That's the instinctive part.
You can call it that, yeah. Hybrid intelligence aims to combine that with symbolic reasoning. Think of symbolic reasoning as more like classical logic, rules, context. It helps the AI understand structure, relationships, if-then type logic.
So the neural network makes an intuitive guess, maybe about the next word, and the symbolic system checks if that guess actually makes logical sense according to...
You are listening to the AI World Podcast, your trusted source for the latest innovations, insights, and trends in artificial intelligence, blockchain, fintech, and decentralized technologies. Each episode features expert interviews, engaging discussions, and in-depth analysis of how AI transforms industries worldwide. Stay ahead of the curve with the latest articles and exclusive reports from the AI World Journal, covering everything from emerging technologies to industry breakthroughs. For more news, global events, and access to AI World Society circle gatherings, visit us at aiworld.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to stay informed Stay connected and be part of the AI revolution with AI World Lounge. Thank you for listening.
Defined rules. It adds a layer of reason.
Exactly. It builds in more robustness, maybe even explainability, the ability for the AI to show its work, so to speak. Another big technical shift tackling those resource and data issues is the move towards domain-specific AI.
So instead of one giant model trying to know everything, you build smaller, focused models.
Precisely. Smaller models train on very specific, high-quality, often proprietary data for a particular field like medicine or finance or legal analysis.
That sounds much more efficient. And probably more accurate within its domain.
Generally, yes. It avoids the massive costs, the data saturation problem, and allows for real expertise. And this ties into another trend: on-device and private AI.
Meaning the AI runs locally on your phone or computer, not in some giant data center.
Right, keeping the processing and critically your data closer to you. This is huge for privacy, for data security, for user trust. You're not sending sensitive information out to the cloud constantly.
That feels like a really important shift for individuals.
It is. And the final key technical piece is building an ethical and transparent design from the ground up. We need systems that can explain why they made a recommendation or reached a conclusion, not just what the conclusion is.
That explainability, the why, seems crucial for trusting AI in important decisions.
Absolutely non-negotiable in fields like healthcare or autonomous driving. So these technical shifts are all about making AI more efficient, robust, trustworthy, and specialized.
But you mentioned these technical fixes aren't the whole story. There's a philosophical retooling needed too.
Yes, and many argue this is the most critical part. Even with better technology, we need to fundamentally change how we think about AI's purpose. It means consciously embedding human context, ethics, empathy into the design process itself.
So it's not just about code, it's about values.
Yeah.
Making sure AI serves human flourishing, not just, say, corporate profits or automating jobs away.
Exactly. It's about ensuring the goals we program into these systems align with broader human progress.
So what does that look like? What's the difference between AI competing with us versus complementing us? Can you give some examples?
Sure. Think about healthcare. An AI designed to compete might try to replace the doctor, making diagnoses on its own. An AI designed to complement would act more like an incredibly intelligent assistant.
How so?
It could rapidly synthesize patient history, latest research, scan images for subtle patterns the human eye might miss, presenting all that information to help the doctor think more clearly and make a better informed decision. It enhances the doctor's capabilities. It doesn't replace their judgment.
Okay, I see. Or in the creative fields.
Instead of AI that just scrapes artist styles to generate copies, imagine AI tools that give artists entirely new ways to express themselves, new brushes, new mediums they couldn't access before. Empowering creativity, not mimicking it.
So supporting educators with personalized tools, helping journalists verify information faster, protecting truth online instead of muddying the waters.
Precisely. It's a fundamental shift in design philosophy, from building AI that might displace human skills to building AI that amplifies human potential and collaboration.
That really reframes the goal. And it suggests we need to look at the culture creating the AI, right? Retooling of the tech means retooling the humans building it.
Absolutely. AI systems inevitably reflect the values and priorities of their creators. If the culture is all about short-term gains, chasing engagement metrics, maybe cutting corners on safety, well, the AI will likely reflect that.
But if the culture prioritizes thoughtfulness, inclusivity, long-term impact,
then the AI is much more likely to evolve in a beneficial direction. It forces us to confront our own values.
So in a way, the blueprint for a better AI is a better version of ourselves, our own curiosity, empathy, ethics. Those need to be the guiding principles. The machine won't develop a moral compass on its own.
That's the core message. It's a clear arc. The first wave of modern AI learned to mimic us brilliantly. This retooling phase is about teaching the next generation to understand us, our logic, our context, our values.
And the phase after that?
True. Meaningful collaboration. AI that works alongside us, augmenting our strengths, moving away from a competitive framing entirely towards a complementary one.
Okay, let's synthesize this. We've explored why today's AI, while amazing, is hitting walls. It's brilliant mimicry but lacks deep understanding. The old path of just scaling up is proving unsustainable environmentally, data-wise, intellectually, and ethically.
Which necessitates this retooling involving key technical shifts like hybrid intelligence, domain-specific models, on-device processing, and transparent design.
But crucially, also involves a philosophical retooling, embedding human values and aiming for complementarity rather than competition.
Right. AI needs this change not because it failed, but almost because it succeeded too well within its narrow initial parameters. We've seen the power, and now we see the limitations. This next phase is about moving from algorithms that just imitate life to systems designed consciously to enhance it.
We've definitely proven machines can learn, calculate, synthesize information at incredible speed. That part's done. The real challenge, the deeper one, is figuring out how to build systems that can, in some functional sense, care about context, reason soundly, and respect the human experience they interact with.
That's the frontier.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, maybe the question for you, the listener, is this. Thinking about this huge technological pivot, this push to create not just brilliance, but wisdom.
Yeah.
What does that demand from you, whether you're building this tech, using it every day, or just living in the world it's reshaping? What role do you play in ensuring AI serves humanity well? That's something to think about.
The future of artificial intelligence is unfolding, and it's happening at AI World Week, the flagship global event for innovation, collaboration, and transformation. This flagship global AI event is designed to connect visionary leaders, trailblazing entrepreneurs, and influential thinkers to explore the endless possibilities of AI. Experience groundbreaking technology that redefines industries and inspires progress. Join thought-provoking discussions on ethical AI, digital equity, and the transformative role of technology in our world. Build meaningful connections that catalyze innovation and drive impact. AI World Week is powered by AI World Society, a global movement dedicated to advancing AI responsibly and ensuring it serves humanity. Together, we're shaping a smarter, more inclusive, and equitable future. Continue your journey beyond the event with the AI World Journal, offering expert insights, in-depth analysis, and the latest trends shaping the AI landscape. This is your opportunity to lead, to innovate, and to transform the world with AI. AI World Week. We invite you to join us and embrace the AI revolution.